I am making a Barbie video, so it makes sense that I am wearing pink this time around. Hell yeah. Hello, this is Daniel Mart back again, and I am an actor and filmmaker based out of South Florida. And for this week, I kind of just want to discuss the fact that Barbie got snubbed at the Oscars for Best Actress for Margot Robbie and for Best Director for Greta Gerwig, again for Barbie. And just my thoughts on the overall reaction to that, what I actually think about it, and I kind of just want to go from there. Now, I just kind of want to cover my own personal basis very fast. Clearly I'm a guy. So this really doesn't affect me as much as I think other people who are discussing about this are. Furthermore, if you go back to my video from last week, reacting to the Oscar nominations, in the first 10-15 minutes when I was giving my very quick bullshit predictions, I did state that I didn't think that Barbie was going to get that nomination for Best Actress or Best Director. Granted, I didn't really go into it at that point. Why? Because I was kind of just spouting off predictions at that moment. But just to kind of give an explanation to that very fast, although it would have been nice for them to get that nomination, don't get me wrong, the reason I ultimately didn't think they were going to get that nomination, despite the fact that they were getting all the precursor awards and everything else, is because of the fact that I just feel that the Academy has a certain standard, they have a certain thing, so to speak, that they look for that's a little bit classist in a sense. And I know, look, hindsight is 2020 because they did nominate Ryan Gosling. They did nominate, surprisingly, American Ferrera for Barbie as well. There's a part of me that's kind of shocked by the reactions that people are having to the snub. But at the same time, I'm not too surprised in a sense. But I think it's the fact that everybody's not focusing on those nominations. Well, Ryan Gosling kind of, for a reason I'll get to later. But it's the fact that everybody's focusing on the snubs of Margot Robbie for Best Actress and Greta Gerwig for Best Director. To a certain extent, I do have to agree with what Ryan Gosling said, where there is no movie without Greta or Margot. They are the heart and soul of the movie. Although I can agree with that, personally, I still don't think that they should have gotten the nomination regardless. It'd be nice. I'm still going to hold to my thoughts back then. I don't think they were deserving of that nomination per se. It would be nice, but they still would be within my top 5. Honestly, for me, at least for Best Actress, I think Greta Lee should have gotten that 5th spot, personally, for Past Lives. But if Margot Robbie would have gotten it, I wouldn't have been mad, it's one of the things that I would have expected it regardless, and I wouldn't have been mad overall. And here's the thing, if Margot Robbie did get nominated, I still don't think she would have won. I still think this award is going to go to Emma Stone for Poor Things. And even then, second place is going to Lily Gladstone. Margot Robbie isn't going to win that award regardless. That's between the Stone and Gladstone anyways. Yes, look, I'll admit, to a certain degree, it would have been nice for Margot Robbie to be nominated for Best Actress, but my 5th personal choice would have been Greta Lee. I think one of the things that really sours, for me personally, the fact that she got snubbed there, is the fact that Annette Bening got in. And here, no disrespect to Annette Bening, she's done great work over the years, but this wasn't her best performance in her career. This wasn't her best film she's ever done. It's not the best film of last year. I mean, it only showed up here in supporting actress, which... why? It's an alright film. I saw Naiad. It's an alright film, and I don't see why she got nominated aside from the fact that she is the veteran pick. She's, and we have this, and this show specifically, and this year's Oscar, we have a lot of veteran picks. I would say John Williams is another veteran pick. Diane Warren is a veteran pick. Scorsese for Best Director is a veteran pick, which I'll get to in a second as well. And Jodie Foster as well for Naiad is a veteran pick. I don't see why she got in, to be honest, aside from the fact that she's a veteran pick. I do think that she basically took Margot Robbie's place, or Greta Lee, because again, my personal choice is Greta Lee. But I do think that she took Margot Robbie's place. And for me, I think that's the part that sours me. It's the fact that, and I said this even back last week, if you would have put Greta Lee over Margot Robbie, I don't think people will be as upset because it's going to another good performance. Another respectable performance. A performance that everybody from last year loved as well. Maybe not as equally beloved as Barbie, I'll admit that much, because Barbie was just a cultural phenomenon. But people still very much enjoy that. But you're going with Annette Bening for Naiad, a movie that most people haven't seen, don't care to see it. and you're going for Annette Bening, which is, again, as I said, the veteran pick. And I think for me, that's the part that kind of sours that nomination. Yeah, and then likewise for director, the veteran pick there is Scorsese. The only thing with that is, and I said this, I think I said this last week. I don't remember, but I think I said this last week. Scorsese may be the person you were able to seek out, but he made Killers in the Flower Moon a 3-hour epic, which, despite whatever problems I may have with that movie, it's still, one of our greatest auteurs. It's not like Annette Bening, where, yes, she's done great work, but at the end of the day, Naya isn't really her best performance. It's not like that with Scorsese in Killers of the Flower Moon, where this could arguably be considered one of his best films, straight up. Personally, I'm still partial to stuff like Taxi Driver or The Departed, to be honest, but I have seen a lot of people say that this is Scorsese's best work in years, straight up. And I think that's the difference, and this is a 3-hour epic. It's about a topic that not many people discuss, Native American and the whole Osage situation. It's just one of those things, in a sense, the obvious pick for that to take out for Greta Lee will be Scorsese. But Scorsese has some clout to him, and it's one of those things that you could take him out, I'm not gonna lie, and personally I wouldn't be upset with it, and especially if you put Greta Lee in that place, cool. But even then, I also just feel there's better directors that deserve that nomination instead as well. Alexandra Payne for The Holdovers is my personal pick in that regard, or Celine Song for Past Lives. And this may also have to do with the fact that I just prefer Past Lives and The Holdovers just a lot more than Barbie, personally. And Best Director, that's the Christopher Nolan Award. Let's be honest here, it's the Christopher Nolan Award. It doesn't matter who you put there. It's the Christopher Nolan Award. Yorgos Lanthimos may give him a run for his money in this movie, for that category, sorry. But that's, Christopher Nolan's going to be sweeping that whole night. Oppenheimer's going to be sweeping that whole night. So it doesn't really matter what combination of the four you put. That's the Christopher Nolan Award. Now, yes, it would have been nice for Greta Gerwig to be nominated, but again, she's not my first pick, and I just feel like the reaction to this is kind of weird. Again, I'm kind of shocked by it, but at the same time, I shouldn't be surprised. And I think more so than the fact that they're not nominated for these two specific awards, the thing that's really bothering me is, well, at least in Margot Robbie's case, one, who got nominated over her, but two, it's the fact that a lot of people are kind of putting this story of them not being nominated in a very weird light, where it's like, oh, this whole movie is about women getting noticed, women getting what they deserve, and they give the nomination to a man. And I'm just thinking that's not true at all. Yes, Ryan Gosling did get the nomination for Best Supporting Actor, but here's the thing: he was always going to be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. And that one, again, I'm not sure if I said it last week when I was doing my quick 10-minute prediction section at the beginning of the reaction video last week. But I always did think that Ryan Gosling was going to get the nomination. The other two, I wasn't so sure, if I'm being honest. And yes, I know I did talk about, like, oh, the Oscars have a certain standard to this, but I think, call it classist, call it sexist, but that's just how the Academy rolls. But they're more forgiving to give a comedic nomination to a man than a woman. I know it's classist, I know it's kind of sexist, don't get me wrong, I'm not blind to that fact, but that's also just kind of how the Academy has always been. But with the fact that people are saying, oh, they're giving this nomination to a man, they're kind of, one, they're erasing America Ferrera's nomination, who is a woman. Last time I checked, she got nominated under Best Supporting Actress, and people are erasing her nomination. She's a first-time nominee, and if I saw some statistic there that this is the first time a Latina has been nominated in like X amount of years, and there is that. So people are not, people are just so focused on Ryan Gosling getting nominated that they're like, one, ignoring America Ferrera's contributions to this and the fact that she got nominated, but two, they're also ignoring the fact that, and I will say this, even Ryan Gosling is ignoring this fact. They're also ignoring the fact that, despite the fact that they missed in Best Actress and Best Director, Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, they still got nominated regardless for Barbie. At the end of the day, they still got nominated for Barbie. Greta Gerwig got nominated for Barbie for Best Screenplay, for Best Adapted Screenplay, alongside Noah Baumbach, her husband. She still got nominated, just not in the award we expected her to get nominated in. And then same thing for Margot Robbie. Despite the fact that we wanted her to be nominated for Best Actress, she didn't get that nomination. Annette Bening got that nomination instead. That's the part that's really souring for me again. But she still got nominated for Best Picture. She's a producer on the film. She still got nominated for the film. So it's one of those things like their contributions aren't being ignored per se. Yes, they're not being represented and where we expected them to place, but it's not like their contributions are being completely ignored. If Barbie missed Best Picture somehow, if Barbie missed Screenplay somehow, then I think this conversation could really take off. And more so if America Ferrera didn't place. Because here's the thing, nobody was predicting America Ferrera, by the way. If anything, America Ferrera being nominated was maybe the biggest shocker of the night for the acting categories. As much as I hate to say it, people were predicting the Naiad girls to place somewhere. Granted, a lot of people thought that she was going to take Carey Mulligan's place in Best Actress. A lot of people thought she was going to take Carey Mulligan's place in Best Actress. And then supporting actress was such a fucking shit show to predict that she could have. It's one of those things that the veteran pick there would have made a lot more sense there. But for Best Actress, a lot of people thought that she was going to get over. Everybody expected Carey Mulligan to be the snub there, if I'm being honest. Not Margot Robbie. So the fact that Margot Robbie was the snub was one surprise. The fact that Annette Bening got over her was another surprise. And that's where I kind of don't like it. I would have put Greta Lee there. I'll be honest. I'm not. It's been really evident in this video, but I would have put Greta Lee there in a heartbeat. Even over Margot Robbie. But again, that's just me. I just feel like the discourse around this nomination is so crazy because here's the thing. We get snubs every year. Like, even this year, I am still pissed off that Beyond Utopia missed for Best Documentary. But, aside from the video from last week, I'm not shouting this to the rooftops 24/7. Granted, it's a documentary, so most people aren't going to give a shit about a documentary. But, like, likewise, there's people here who are mad that Leo didn't get in, but nobody's shouting that from the rooftops. If you go to the past, I guess sticking with Leo, infamously was always snubbed for a long time at the Oscars. And people did shout that to the rooftops to a certain extent, but it's not with this veracity that we're seeing right now. And granted, I'm talking about a man instead of a woman, but I just feel like this is such a weird reaction to everything. Again, it's okay if you feel that Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig got snubbed. That's completely valid, and I'm not denying that. It was one of the best films of last year. I personally liked it. It was in my top 10 of last year for sure. It was number 8, if I'm not mistaken. So, I did like it, but I also, again, for me personally, I expected it to miss in those categories. Again, it's one of those things, if it had missed in Best Picture and Best Screenplay, and if America Ferrera didn't get in either, then we could actually have this conversation. But right now, the conversation as is, it's ignoring a lot of factors that I personally just don't like. It's like, people are asking as if Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig aren't nominated. And again, they are nominated, just not where you expect them to place. There was a very great YouTube video that I saw just the other day by a YouTuber. I forget their name right now, but there you go. That's the name of the YouTuber. And I'll have the link down below for you guys, so you guys can watch it. But she discusses this, basically, this basic concept. So if you want to hear the opinion of this from a woman's perspective, go ahead. There you go. But I basically agreed with everything she said. Despite how you feel about the snubs, they still got nominated. And the social discourse to it is just kind of insane. I just wanted to really talk about this and get my feelings out on this because I guess to a certain extent I'm just trying to comprehend it. Again, the reaction. Again, there is a part of me that understands why the reactions are the way they are. But then there's the other part of me is like, why though? Why is this so much? And again, part of it could be due to the fact that I'm a guy, I'll admit. Part of it could be due to the fact that from the beginning, I didn't really expect them to place in those categories to begin with. Again, it would have been nice, but I didn't have them as my final predictions. It could just be because I know the standard that the Academy has for women in general. And again, it just feels like a weird social discourse. Also, the other thing with that too, let me touch on directing because now I just realized I haven't talked about this. But for directing, Justine Triet, she got nominated for Anatomy of the Fall for Best Director. But again, people aren't taking that as a celebration because people are like, oh, a woman should be nominated for director. Yes, but people are like, Justine Triet is a female director. Why aren't you celebrating that win? But people aren't celebrating that win because it's not Greta Gerwig. I just feel like there's a lot of double standards being with this overall reaction that again, it could be because I'm a guy. It could be because because I never expected them to actually place in these categories. But it's just a weird reaction I'm trying to understand. Like, you guys are setting these weird double standards if it should only apply to Barbie. and not Anatomy of the Fall, for example. There's a lot of weird double standards I'm still trying to comprehend. Maybe you guys could explain it down to me, down in the comments below. But there's just a lot of things that aren't sitting well with me. And who knows? Maybe this video is gonna fucking bomb, you know, more than my Rachel Zegler defense video. But hey, it is what it is. I'm giving my thoughts, and that's what I think. I just feel like, well, again, one, I never expected them to place to begin with. If they did, I would have been happy. Don't get me wrong. But from the beginning, I never expected them to place. The Annette Bening nomination does really sour that for me, though. Best Director is a very stacked year. I guess you take out Scorsese, but that's a whole different conversation that I'm not sure people are ready to have. And it's, again, Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig, they were nominated, just not where we expected them to place. And again, a woman was still nominated for Best Director. Now, yes, it would be great if two women are nominated at the same time. That'd be great. Again, you're ignoring one nomination that should be considered a win for you, just because the person you wanted didn't get in. It seems like a weird double standard. And then again, you're ignoring America Ferrera, who did get nominated, is a first-time nominee. It's the first time we've had a Latina in X amount of years be nominated for that award. I think there's a lot of factors that are being ignored just because these two people didn't get nominated. And it seems very weird to me. And even then, again, they got nominated, just not where we thought they would place. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking in circles at this point, and the light is coming down clearly because it's getting more darker here. So I'm just going to end this video. Comment all your thoughts down below. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this? Who knows? Maybe I'm the villain right now. It is what it is. That's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.